what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Birdies and Banter. Woo! Season 2. We are back with another season full of golf. We'll be going over the Players' Championship this week and then the next four majors, official majors.
Yeah, official Majors John Deere Classic. We are back! We are back! That's like that from the Hanover, but it's great to do this again. Season dose already. A lot has happened in the golf world. Let's see. We got beat down in the Ryder Cup. Tommy Fleetwood
Yeah.
finally won his first win at the FedEx Cup, which seems so long ago since now he's all we can talk about is what chonies and hat and belt he's wearing because he's a apparel free agent. Let's see what else has been going on. LPGA Tour coming back next week, which we're excited about. Back to the Bay Area for the Fortinet Founders Cup. Um, let's see, are we missing else? Oh yeah, there's this guy named Brooks Koepka. You might have heard he came back to the PGA Tour. Coming back behind him is Patrick Reed, who's won twice on the DP World Tour in
Yep.
Qatar and in Dubai. Let's see, Kevin Na slowly coming back, Hudson Swafford coming back, and
hmm
then AK baby, Anthony Kim, his first win in 13 years that made Twitter look like 2009 again because he was like
Yeah.
number one. So, but it's great to be back here with my brother Patrick, and yeah, let's have some fun this season.
Yeah, and of course, without this goes along with the intro. I'm Patrick from the MPP Live. That's my podcast, and that's the other host, Derrick Ow from the Chronicles from the Upper Deck podcast.
Yep.
So, if you've missed season one, that's what happened. So, pretty fun. Last season, good change of pace for I'm guessing for the both of us, as Derek does his solo podcast, and of course I do my co-hosting with good buddy Noah on the MVP. So, fun to get away from those two podcasts and do just golf, something that
Yes.
we know and love. So,
Like DJ Khaled or DJ Khaled said, "Let's go golfing." I got so excited to do that reference. And by the
jump
way,
the gun.
yeah, by the way, just for if you're watching this, it will be on both our channels. God bless YouTube, because except for my phone, they butchered my phone. But remember, I explained it in my show on that episode. But yeah, YouTube, we are going to collaborate, so it will be on both our channels. That way, you don't have to like toggle in between both. We get to share the wealth, make some coin, maybe. Who knows? But yeah, it'll be on both our YouTube channels.
Yeah. So, just want to get into who has won this season on the PJ Tour. Uh, some familiar faces, like you said, came back, like Brooks Koepka, who has not been playing his best. He's been dealing with a putter and issues with that. But someone who has been making a name for himself, Chris Gotterup. This guy has been shooting lights out. He goes on and wins the first tournament of the year at Sony Open, and then wins in a playoff against Hideki Matsuyama at the Waste Management. So, I mean, that guy came out of left field. He's
Hmm.
definitely made a name for himself, and now everyone knows who he is with his unorthodox stance. I don't know how he does it, but he has a crazy swing.
My goal, if I was part of the PJ Tour, is to have like victory songs. You know how like the Giants have when I left my heart in San Francisco.
Yeah.
My team Rays have well, they used to have celebration. Um, I have always thought Chris Goddard up as squabble up, squabble up, doon 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 doon, because that's all that guy's doing, man. He's just winning. I think it all stemmed from last July when he dueled with Rory McIlroy and beat him at the Scottish Open. Then got a top 10 finish at the Open the next week, and then all of a sudden blitzed the field at YLA or at YLA at the Sony Open, and then Hideki just made like four bad swings, and then Goddard was right there and sunk that 25 footer for birdie,
Yep.
and now he's legitimately a top 10 player in the world. So yeah, kudos to Chris, man. The dude's balling out. Seems like a cool dude. Playing for a President's Cup spot, and I think just kind of reminds me of Brooks, like we've mentioned. Once you win once, the floodgates open. We saw that with Scotty Scheffler, the world's number one player, a few years ago when he won this event ironically, and then obviously led him to the Masters and
Yep.
the three other
Six
majors.
more victories.
Yeah,
Yeah, and like you said, Scotty, he did win the American Express with his B game. I would say.
Yeah.
Wild, he put up what 26 under, I think, over 4 days.
Yeah.
Colin Morikawa won the AT&T, and that was big for him. Definitely, he hasn't won in a while, so
Hmm.
good for him. And Akshay Bhatia just won the Arnold Palmer Invitational, which that was a crazy ride. He came back. What was he like, four down, five down? I know he shot six under on the back nine.
It was like three down, and I think it was just, I wouldn't call it a collapse for Daniel Berger. I think it was just
No,
more so Akshay making the swings and that crazy shot he hit in regulation. Wow, barely cleared the lake and wound up making par. Kudos to Berger for not sinking that 12-footer. And Daniel Berger's been playing the best golf since I mean, he's been hurt the past couple years. So
yeah,
great to see him back on the scene. Has that kind of fast, quick twitch swing, gets so much torque on his swing and on that
something I don't
impact.
have.
Yeah, we don't have that. I don't have that hip flexor action. But yeah, Akshay taking care of business. And now did he anchor it? Did he not anchor it? Can we
Yeah,
zoom in? I'm like, okay, well, let's relax here. Other winners, Justin Rose blitzed the field at the Farmers Insurance Open. I think
wow,
it's safe to
fully forgot
say,
about him.
yeah, I think it's safe to say he's I could call him a future Hall of Famer. I think I could say that.
Yeah,
The victories, he has the Olympic gold medal, the major. Shout out Jacob Bridgman, who at Pebble Beach, the week before he won his first PJ Tour career win. By the way, first tee alumni from South Carolina. So shout out Jacob Bridgman. The dude was literally on the beach looking for his ball, trying to hit out of it, hit behind the scoreboard. It didn't make it, cleared, so it made Colin wait half an hour, I think, on the fairway. I
yeah,
was trying to
30, 40
watch.
minutes.
I think the Daytona 500 was on the same day, and
Yeah,
then by the time I switch it, oh, Tyler Reddick won that, and like, oh wait, Collins still
still in the
got
fairway.
it. Yeah, but kudos to Jacob Bridgman, man, coming back the next week and responding, big time win to win at Riviera Tigers event, and also one of the heartbreaking finishes too, also took place in Florida at Cognizant Classic. Shane Lowry, man, going to the bear trap. I
Yeah,
think his brother flew out there, had his family, and then all of a sudden, just a couple bad swings, and bear trap took away a victory from him. Nico Echeverria too, just came out of nowhere. Bought a house like 3 days, I think, just
he
signed
bought
the
it during the round on
bought
Thursday.
it during the round, and then told I think his fiance or wife, "Hey, I'm gonna win," and then he ends up winning. And then also shout out to also Ricky Castillo, who won the Puerto Rico Open as well for his first career win. And I mean, he is in the field this week. So that's basically been about it on the PGA Tour side of things there.
Yeah, it's been a great season so far, and we're just getting started with the players, and we get the Masters in a month. So,
Yep.
uh, yeah, a little warm up here for the Players Championship. Trying to get into form for everyone. You still want to talk about people coming back, or you think we covered it?
I think we mentioned Brooks. It's great to see him back. I remember. I think it was a couple years ago where he said, or maybe it was like a writer said that he would have not taken the money. He had a knee injury before he won the PGA Championship, like the year before, back in 2023. Wow, that seems so long ago. And his contract ended, and then all of a sudden they announced this program, and then hyping. I've never seen the hype train behind one player besides Tiger. Um, and then boom, I'm back, and then had to donate some money as part of the
Some
I think
money.
it was like $5 million, right? $5 million
Yeah,
dollars
five
he had to
million.
donate or give back. But it's great to see him. He looks very comfortable out there. I know the results haven't been like, oh, he's won. Had a fringe top 10 finish though at the Cognizant Classic. I think he found this putter. What do I deem a successful year for him? I think just making cuts, getting back into a signature event. I'm not expecting him to like win 5 or 6 times here, but
No.
I think realistically, just seeing him out here, seeing him get back into the fold of things, the swing of things,
Yeah.
because I think when this live golf thing happened, I always said like there's going to be guys that are going to come up and not replace you, but just like okay, there's a spot for me.
Yeah.
The Goddard-Eps, the Schefflers of the world take up that mantle, and Ludwig Oberg, I'll put him in there. And also Patrick Reed's coming back later this year in August, but he's leading the race to Dubai Stadium, so should be back sooner. He's won twice already. He's playing all over the world. Bahrain, he was in
Yeah.
Africa. The dude,
Yeah.
that dude's like on that Sunjay and World Tour schedule. Kevin Na played in New Zealand. He's coming back because he left Live, and then Benon went to Live, and then changed the name to the Korean Golf Club. And then who else? Hudson Swafford also coming back, and then Pat Perez, low key, is coming back. He is eligible to play in the champion, senior majors. He turned 50. Will most likely play the Champions Tour the following year because I know it's
Yeah.
like a year suspension since you last played in an event.
Yeah.
But the one that I've been holding back that I know the golf world is, you know, overjoyed, depending on if you like him or not. Anthony Kim.
Yeah.
That I would I say that Anthony Kim would win a professional golf tournament in 2026.
Hmm.
And that was a crazy scene in Adelaide too. With his wife and his daughter, and obviously him walking down the fairway. Had the fist pumps going, looking like 2009 AK. Twitter was trending worldwide.
Yeah.
So kudos to him for bouncing back from the depths of hell, really. I mean,
Yeah.
addiction and
I mean, he
you know,
started on Live Tour and he was like the laughing stock. Like he was
yeah,
shanking shots, like he was shooting like 20 over. People was like, what is he doing playing golf
crazy
again?
man.
Like, and then to go out and win. Yes, I know it's a Live Golf Tour event, but like,
It's crazy.
there's still other people on that tour. John Rahm, Jay Shambo,
Joaquin Neiman,
Joaquin Neiman,
yeah,
running out names here, but those three guys, um, were in the field and they didn't win. So Anthony Kim, man, it would be nice to see him back on tour, but I doubt it. He's living life. He found a team with the four aces, so he's not an individual just out there playing golf. So
I just love the
um,
state. Before we go to our next topic, I love the state rep media, man, of Live Golf because they're like, "This is the greatest comeback of all time," and like, okay, whoa, whoa, whoa. I mean, you got Ben Hogan who almost died in a car crash. You got Tiger
yeah,
who's had how many surgeries? Won the 2019 Masters. Don't forget Jack Nicklaus in 1986. So let's pump the brakes on. This is the greatest comeback I've ever seen of all time. And
yeah,
I one kind of little jab. I think Arlo White, who great soccer commentator, golf. He's decent. He said, "Oh, I think Dustin's not regretting his decision. Where's Patrick Reed at now, or something like that." I'm
oh
like,
jeez.
"Oh, dude." Wow. Yeah, but yeah, I mean it's crazy to see Anthony Kim winning, and I know now they get world ranking points, which we haven't talked about as well. So I know it's similar to like an opposite field event that is on the PGA Tour, but hey, I mean he's 204th right now. We got Live Golf on the telly in the Owl Palace. Do we invite him to the Masters? Oh.
I don't think so.
How do we
Maybe
generate more
maybe
ratings?
next year.
Oh, Tiger come in. Oh, I want that as a media guy.
Yeah. Before we get to our picks this week for the Players Championship, the new CEO
Yeah,
of golf,
CEO.
Brian Rowlap.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I guessed on the last name. He came out, he did a little press conference this week or I think today or yesterday. And he said he's making changes to the PGA Tour. Nothing's official yet, but just coming up with ideas. Just trying to see what the media says about it, talks about it. Interesting, he's trying to make changes and I applaud him for it. He's not just catering to the old heads and the traditionalists. So, um, I think the most notable thing that stood out to me was he wants to double the amount of signature events. There's already 8 signature events, and he wants to double it, which is just insane. Limited player fields, or maybe a little bit more than 80, but he already cut the field sizes to 120 just to make it more competitive, I guess,
Hmm.
more special. And another one was relegation, maybe. I don't know how that's gonna work because, Corn Ferry players are already going up into the PGA and playing. So I don't know if it's gonna be like a separate like bubble. They already have, I don't know if it counts, but the ION top 10, top five.
Yeah.
And if you're in those standings, then you get bumped up into signature events. So I don't know how that would work, but I'm here for it. Why not? We can relegate some people.
And you also forgot the other
Justin
thing, Pat.
Thomas? I don't
Yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
know.
He's getting back. Great to have you back on the course, JT. You forgot something else, Pat, is that he wants to have tournaments in all the major media markets.
That's right.
So you're looking at Boston, New York. He threw Los Angeles out there, even though there is a tournament there. I
And he
don't
just
know.
wants another one.
And
Maybe
then he
there's one in
also,
San Diego. I don't know.
San Diego. If you're at San Francisco, even though some, most golf fans from the Bay Area drive to Pebble. But yeah, I mean, to have it at Hardy Park, TPC Hardy Park, Olympic
Olympic.
Club, that'd be
Cal
nice.
Club.
Our Cal Club,
Just get in
SF
there.
Golf Club, shout out SF Golf Club. Um, yeah, it's interesting. To me, I think part of me is like, okay, this dude just read like tw golf Twitter birders and Instagram, and then he's like, okay, let's take the best of those
I'm
ideas.
fine with it.
I'm fine with it.
Gotta put it out there.
And he's trying to make the season a little shorter, but start in late January with an event on the West Coast. So who knows where Hawaii fits on schedule? I'm a proponent of keeping Hawaii on schedule. I think that's a reward for all the guys that won or did well in the FedEx Cup playoffs. I also heard that he wants to have a match play back in the FedEx Cup, in the FedEx Cup playoffs, which I agree with because you need to
There's no
have
more
some.
match play.
Yeah, there's no more match play. One, two. I think it would get the guys ready to go for whatever team event you got after the week after or the 2 weeks after, or the month after. And three, there needs to be some sort of elimination. I don't want to see 30 guys just holding hands and let's go play some 4 free rounds or well, obviously they're PJ Tour members. I can't say free, but let's go play 4 rounds at East Lake. I mean, I just want to see some finality to it. So that's where the experience from working at the NFL for as long as he did comes in. It's interesting. I would like to see a more definitive thing on like, okay, what events are you keeping? And you also mentioned, regulation, which is popular in European soccer. I know Curtis loves that, our brother Curtis. But we already have that with the Corn Ferry Tour, technically with Q School. So how are you going to implement that? And I do like going to the big cities, but how are you going to have what months are you going to have the events in the big cities? Because, if you have it at Chicago Golf Club, Shinnecock, there are members that want to play those courses every day.
Yeah.
So the membership literally has to give up rounds there for like, I don't know, a month, 2 months to build out the tournament. So it's kind of like trying to juggle, chainsaws and see what doesn't, cut you first.
Yeah.
And then also, I'm a little bit afraid of the events, the John Deere Classic, which there's always low rounds there, and in that tri-state area of Illinois, Iowa.
Travelers.
And yeah, and the Travelers, I think the Travelers will stay. Wyndham Championship, which has been a long running event on the PGA Tour, that's always the week before the FedEx Cup playoffs. So it should be interesting. I don't know if you combine the Corn Ferry Tour with this Tier 2 system that he wants, but I'm eager to see kind of how he implements it. I know it's not going to take place next year, most likely be in the following year. And also, you got to account for the Olympics too. Do you take, how do you record that?
Yeah.
So, it's kind of hard when you have independent contractors as your, not, I would say your bosses really. And obviously you're trying to cater to the guys that are, you know, basically in the field this week, 100 and 123, and not just your top 10 players in the world that are on the tour. So yeah, it's an interesting choice, but hey, I like the ideas, trying to gauge interest. I do, lastly, before we go into our picks, I do believe that the FedEx Cup playoffs need to rotate in the big cities. That's where you need to be focused on. Sorry, Memphis. I wish, you guys could keep the FedEx Cup, but
I'm
yeah,
tired of East Lake. I already know that
yeah,
happens. The 18th is drivable,
yeah.
Tigers walk up the
Yeah, yeah, and
18th.
I like East Lake. They've done a lot, especially with that first tee chapter there. They do a lot
Yeah.
for that community, but
Run
maybe they
college
could just
events
have
too.
a regular season stop there. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, how cool would it be to see it end at Riviera in September, in prime time in the daylight, or even
I, I
Cypress.
I saw the
Lots of
idea,
PF.
like have Pebble Beach at the end of the schedule.
Yeah,
Like maybe better weather,
a
maybe
lot
when
of
it's
golf
not
writers.
raining. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the golf writers I heard during the program are kind of hearing those rumblings a little bit. But then you have Concourse Delegons here in August. So it's just kind of, it's hard to juggle multiple logistical nightmares when I think people think, oh, it's easy. We can move this event to that site. I'm like, no, it takes a lot. There's a lot more outside the golf course. So
Yeah.
it should be interesting. I know we're going to get an update on it in June. So probably in between our U.S. Open shows and our Open Championship shows, we're going to get some sort of finality to it here.
Yeah. So that's everything PGA Tour and what's been going on for the first 3 months, 4 months. So I guess we'll get into the pics that people have sent into Derek's Instagram accounts.
Shout out at CFTUD Pod on the IG channel and at DQ42 Golf Life on the IG channel. Ladies, single. So yeah, we're gonna start off with my boy Michael Malberg, who I had on the show. No brainer because he's been, I have a hot take by the way. Scotty Scheffler will not win a major this year.
Oh,
He will not win a major. Now people
okay.
think, "Oh my God, you hate Scotty." No, dude, everybody's due for like a subpar year. Tiger, Jack. We already. I could list the names of stars. Sam Snead. I could throw in any superstar. What?
Yeah.
I just don't. Scotty. I think is kind of his swings in some weird place. One week it's the driver, like we saw last week. It was the driver, and he's trying out the new driver that TaylorMade just released. I think it's the QI 4i0 or whatever.
4D.
4D. Yeah, so he's gonna put that in the bag, and then his wedges, and then he was missing putts. He was throwing a ball into the lake at Bay Hill. It's going down bad for Scotty. But listen, I
Yeah.
think everybody thinks he's struggling. He won the Amex, like in January.
26
Uh,
under.
yeah,
I can
26
find the
under.
real number, but it's
Yeah,
somewhere around that
yeah.
number.
Do I think he'll contend, Michael? Yes, I think he will contend this week, but I don't know. It's not clicking from top to bottom like we've seen, and that's okay. That's what makes golf a beautiful sport. You don't have to be
Yeah.
perfect every week. So Scotty, he's not really one of my favorites. AJ Fitzgerald, shout out your classmate, former NCJ Player of the Year. Uh, Ryan Fox from New Zealand, yeah, and Ryan Fox, by the way, career year. Last year won the Myrtle Beach Classic and then the RBC Canadian Open, both playoffs. The last dude to make an ace at on the Island Green at TPC Sawgrass, Ryan Fox. Um, Listen, I think he'll maybe have one good round here and there.
Yeah.
Am I seeing him contend? No, I mean, we're going to take a look at his results quickly here. I mean, he's had one top 10, four top 25s.
Yep.
Right now, he's seventh in the President's Cup ranking because that also takes place later this year at Medina. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of, you never know. We've seen a lot of guys that are on the older side win. Tim Clark. I could throw in
Lucas
Craig
Glover.
Kirks, Luke, KJ Choi. Lucas Glover's had some success on the tour past couple
Keegan.
of
You
years.
throw Keegan in there?
Baby Keegan, Fred Funk, by the way, the oldest man to win that event as well, win the players. So, Ryan Fox, okay. And I know you picked him last year, and shout out to my boy Isaac Flores at iFlowers 831. He picked Akshay Bhatia. I know you picked him last year, just
Shout
got
out
a
to
big
Akshay.
win last week. And by the way, all three of those wins, he's won in playoffs as well. But
Wild.
man, we don't know I don't know what putter we're gonna get. Are we gonna get the guy that was making, clutch par saves this week, or are we gonna get the guy that is unsure of what he's doing on the green? I don't know. It's gonna be it's an interesting tale, but I would love to see Akshay contend in more big events. And I said that last year,
Yeah.
and I think you also are starting to see more of his personality on TGL, what he's the alternate for Jupiter Leagues. I think Tiger calls it ashtray.
Ashtray him.
I'm like, okay, T-Dub. So yeah, I'd love to see him contend in more big events, but I
Yeah.
think he's going to make the President's Cup team. I think he will get a
Young
captain
star.
to qualify.
Young
And
guy.
lastly, my boy Connor Shooks from Michigan. Go Blue, by the way, he's a Michigan alum. Victor Hovland,
It's a good
another
pick.
guy that he won on a. He didn't know what he was doing with the swing. He won the
Yeah.
Valspar last year. I think he still kind of doesn't know what he's doing. His wedge game,
I
though,
think he went back to his old coach. Is that
yeah,
right? Yeah.
went back to
So,
his old coach. But I've noticed seeing them like through PJ Tour live action. His wedge game has improved, which is
hmm
awesome. His short game has improved, which was the biggest knock against him. Now it's okay. Can I put the pieces together to be a complete player again, like we saw a couple years ago when he won the FedEx Cup? So, and I know Patrick, you participated, but we're going to save it for later after this segment. But
that's right.
I wouldn't be surprised if Victor contends. I would not be surprised at all if he finally
Yep.
puts it together and
If we
he's in the
got a
top three.
fourth player, I would have chose Victor Hovland, but
Okay.
I ended up not. So,
Okay.
so do you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
So do we do all three of our picks and then you critique, or do we do one pick each? But then that's how we run out of the timer last year.
Yeah, yeah. I'll run through my three picks, and then you can say
Okay.
whatever you need to say or not
Okay.
say. You don't have to say
Okay.
anything
Oh, yeah,
if you
yeah,
don't
that's
want
true.
to.
That's
All
true.
right, here we go. You ready?
Go for it.
All right. With my first pick in the
Doom, doom,
2026
doom, doom,
Birdies
doom,
and
doom,
Banter,
doom.
the Players Championship. Okay. My first play, I'm going with Colin Morikawa. All right. He's already won at the AT&T Pro-Am. I kind of think of TPC Sawgrass as a second shot course,
Yeah.
just trying to find the green. Why is it gonna get weird in the rough? I think his iron game can definitely prove, definitely help him around the course. He is the FedEx Cup points leader. He's fifth in strokes gained approach to the green, and then he's eighth in strokes gained total. He's played six times at the Players Championship, one top 10 and one top 25. So his game is definitely in form right now, and wouldn't doubt seeing him winning this championship. My next guy will be Sahith Thigala. I may choose this guy every major this year. I'm
Oh,
like
whoa.
the biggest fan of Sahith. His season was cut short last season with a injury, wrist injury, so he's now recovered. He's basically played every event this year. Three top tens, two top 25s, number 17 in the FedEx Cup. He's tied for second in total hole outs. Look at that, Derek.
Love
You like
it.
that
Love
stat?
it.
With the 10. He's struggling off the tee. That's why he has all these hole outs. He's 17th in scrambling and fifth in scrambling from the rough. So, there's a rough at the Players Championship.
Mhm.
He's only had one top 10 in four tries at the Players Championship. And like Derek said, I have chose Jake Knapp. He's number seven in the FedEx Cup. Yep, nighty night. Five events this year. All five made the cut. One top five, three top tens. This guy's just quietly smoothest swing on tour. T12 last year in the Players Championship, and this year he's fourth strokes gained putting and second on the list in strokes gained total. So this
Hmm.
guy is just quietly. I think he also has the best scoring average this year so far. He hasn't won yet, but he's the most consistent player on the tour so far. So
Love it. Yeah, love it, love it. Jake Knapp and Thigala, they've been playing really consistent golf. Um, both of them are kind of that Victor Hovland, Akshay Bhatia category. Would love to see him contend in more like big events like this, and we'll see if one of them can break through. And guess what? You just said my pick to win the whole shebang. Colin Morikawa is my pick to win the whole shebang. And he said something I think in the post round press conference at the AT&T. He's like, I was chasing perfection. Went to my swing coach. I forgot his swing coach name, so bear with me. But the swing coach told him just to play golf, enjoy it, have fun. And I think you're seeing that here. Tied for 10th. Remember last year he was had the cat, he switched caddies and then yeah, hey Colin, why'd
I
you
think
do
he had
that?
eight different caddies
Eight
last year.
different caddies, trying to find himself. Fish tied for 10th there. And then he's won, they won the pro-am. His iron game looks to be back like he did when he won those two majors.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, he's just been unbelievable. Whether it's a TGL, Arnold Palmer Invitational, Pebble, he's been playing sensational. And I
Yeah.
think, obviously the stadium course requires, like you said, Patrick, it's a, second shot course, and I feel like he's the guy that can do it. But obviously, putter, I think he's shown, signs of being a great putter. and then we've seen kind of a roller coaster like we all go through. But
Yeah.
I just feel like this is the year. He's five in the world right now. I feel like this is your Colin ad. It gets back to being the big game chaser that he is. Another guy that's been playing really well, and he's won there before. He was the youngest champion in 2017. That is my boy, C. Woo Kim. That's right, Siwoo Kim. Besides hitting the driver on the bleachers at the ATT during a practice round, like Cowlick posted, his putter, it's improved. His ball striking, of course, we knew it's incredible. Um, like I said, tee to green, if he's there, I think he can, he knows his way around that course. He can hit recovery shots. He's one of the more aggressive players on tour right now. He's 28th in the world. Um, and in nine players appearances, he's made eight of those cuts. So I like where Siwoo's at. And like I said, it all comes down to the putter. And if he gains his greens at more than 50% of his career starts there. So I really like seeing Siwoo lift the players title for the second time and then just kind of knock on the door, becoming the second Korean male to win a major, joining YE Yang, of course. And my last guy, you know him, you love him, another former champion there. He conquered the Island Green in 2015. He's got the mullet now. He's got the
Wow.
Oakley snowboard sunglasses. I met him at Bevel
Wow.
when I thought he looked like he worked there. That's my
And he
boy,
still
Rick.
wears orange on Sundays.
Or some orange, yeah. He still brings up Ricky Fowler. Now, he's 67th in the world. Yes, he's 37. Yeah, he still looks like he hasn't aged a day, but he's been playing really well. Surprise, he's been playing really well. He's been, on that first, second page of the leaderboard. Six top 20s in his seventh starts, going back to the FedEx St. Jude last year. Hey, if there's any time to pull it together, bring back old school Ricky, mid 2010s Ricky. This is it. I feel like I think Ricky Fowler will win an event this year. I didn't. I almost said major. I almost said major, but I think he's gonna win an event because he hasn't won in a few years since the Rocket Mortgage Classic back in Detroit, back in 2024, I believe. So, yeah, Ricky, I like him. I really like him a lot. I'm sorry, that year is 2023 because that's a win to collect one. So I corrected myself there. But yeah, Ricky, I feel like he's in a great headspace, and yeah, looking forward to seeing him contend this week. I think he's trending in the right direction to give it one last go at obviously getting another player's title, but also getting that elusive major that I think every golf fan wants to see him win. He's a fan favorite.
Yeah, definitely. He won the unofficial major back in 2015, which is so long ago. His famous shot on the Island Green in the
Yeah,
playoff, right
yeah.
side of the pin, which is crazy. One of the greatest shots you'll ever see. Yeah, I like Ricky Fowler. I like Siwoo Kim. Those are definitely two players that I probably would have chose if we had more options. Not this year. Not We're not making the same mistake. First episode of last year. Go and watch that one. Um, yeah. Jordan Speed has been, he's been playing good. He another guy that was struggling with injury last year. I think his wrist as well. Um, had surgery, but he's making a comeback. He's still talking to his ball. Um,
Still looking for his ball two in the bush or whatever last week.
yeah,
That took place. Also Adam Scott as well won there 2004. Holy
yeah.
cow! And that dude
He
has
shot
not aged a day.
he shot 62, 63, 62 at Riviera. So
Yeah.
the guy's insane. But yeah, it's good to see all these guys that we grew up watching making their, I guess, a little bit of a comeback, I would say, uh this year, last year. So good to see those guys. And yeah, I mean Jake Knapp, he's up and coming.
hmm
Sahit's always gonna be there. Batia.
hmm
Um yeah, hopefully some of our you know winners that we think are gonna win are probably like the newer guys on tour, but I can't really even think of newer guys on the tour. Michael
Yeah.
Kim, I don't know.
Michael Kidd, Cam Young, who's also played
Cam
really well, seven
Young,
straight top 11
but we
finishes.
kind of know him, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
maybe we get a no-name winner.
Yeah.
You never know.
This is the hardest tournament to pick, and that's what makes it one of the best championships in all of golf to watch.
Yeah, so that is it. Those are our picks for this week at the Players Championship. Um, that's our preview of this unofficial major. And we'll be back Monday with a recap, or Tuesday, whenever we post it. But you get a preview and a recap from us. So um, Hopefully it's a good one. And yeah, feels good to be back.
Absolutely. If you have any ideas, what? Yes, I have a light bulb stress ball. Feel free to DM us on Patrick's podcast Instagram, the MPP Live, my Instagram. We're always trying to improve, and yeah, it's gonna be a fun year. And finally, we have big time championship golf going down in Ponte Verde Beach, Florida. Will we see a hole in one? Will we see a collapse? Will we see a comeback for the ages? It's gonna be fun to see over the next couple days. And especially who could get out of that rough. Hopefully nobody injures your wrist out of that rough since they decide to grow it like it's the US Open. But
Yep. All right. We'll see everyone next week.